Lindsay and Penelope, classmates at the SA University, and roommates in an itsy-bitsy apartment in New York City. Lindsay is a musician. She plays the saxophone. At least, she tries to play the saxophone. And Penelope is an athlete. She's part of the track team at SA. Both girls are ambitious and had lots of goals to reach in their life. But now and then, Lindsay and Penelope cut each other some slack to keep their lives from getting too dull and boring. Like trying out new things, exotic foods, strange hobbies. But having fun was more difficult than working in their apartment. And it was all because of Mr. Rogers, the tenant downstairs. Lindsay and Penelope lived in a 5-story apartment building. The building was huge and spacious, and each floor had about 6 apartments. None of the tenants ever seemed to have any problem with Lindsay and Penelope, and neither did they have any problems with the other tenants. Except for Mr. Roger. Mr. Roger didn't really know the girls at all. He just had one annoying complaint that the girls were making too much noise. It was true. The mornings in the apartment went by in a rush. The girls were deep sleepers and always woke up late. So, as soon as they pulled themselves out of bed, they were running around the apartment, scrambling through their things to get ready. Lindsay would be blow-drying her hair. Penelope would be blending up her broccoli smoothie. They knew they were making a bit of noise, and perhaps anyone who would walk by their door would think a battle is going on. But hey, it was only 30 minutes and they would lock up and leave. The apartment was going to be pin-drop silent until 2 after that. But still, some people, also known as Mr. Rogers, couldn't tolerate those 30 minutes. While Lindsay would be hopping on her feet, trying to put on her socks while she was inching toast in her mouth with her lips, Mr. Rogers would be knocking on the ceiling of his apartment downstairs. "What is that, Lynn?" "Ignore it, Penny. That's just old man Rogers giving me a few beats to pick up on." Every time Mr. Rogers knocked on the ceiling to inform the girls they were making a lot of noise, Lynn would join in. With a rhythmic beat, while Penelope couldn't help but laugh. All right, let the man have his sleep. We're getting late, let's go." Lindsay and Penelope would meet up at a fast food joint after their classes. They would have lunch there and return home together. Today, the two girls were waiting at the restaurant. Penelope was expecting her boyfriend to meet them there. When Justin arrived, the three went back to their apartment. Justin would often come over and spend time with Penelope. And over the days, he too had become annoyed of Mr. Roger. All Justin wanted was some privacy and a chance to spend some good time, but Mr. Roger always had to interrupt them. They could hear Mr. Rogers' muffled yelling through the floors. "Penny, this is impossible. Coming here just ruins the mood. How are we supposed to do anything like this?" "Sorry, Justin, it's not my fault. This old man is always ready to make a big deal about everything. From now on, we're going to my apartment. You know how difficult it is to quit in the middle?" Just then, the two heard a knock on their door. Penelope got up to open. It was Lindsay. She cleared her voice and said, "Don't blame it on old man Rogers. I can hear you two from the other room. You guys are too loud. Take your business somewhere else." Penelope blushed. "Sorry, Lynn. I just can't help it. It gets too exciting." Justin suddenly banged on the table. "Penny, who told you to leave your seat? We always lose the game because of your silly mistakes. I'm getting a better partner. You don't know how to play Fortnite at all." "No, Justin, please, I'll focus this time." "Fortnite? Is that what you guys have been yelling about? I know how to play. Can I join?" Justin was a fanatic gamer, and ever since Justin and Penelope started dating, he had been trying to train her to join his team. Unfortunately, Penelope was an awful player. She was more of an outdoors sports person, and Justin ended up getting overly pissed at her during the game. Penelope and Justin were loud as it was, and when Lindsay joined them, the three ended up crossing the line a little bit, especially when they didn't realize how much time had gone by. Sometimes, they ended up getting into a muddle when the doorbell would be ringing non-stop. "Who is that?" "Damn it, it's probably Mr. Rogers. It's 6 in the evening. The old man's probably going to bed already. What? Who goes to bed at this time?" The three creeped to the hallway. Penelope pushed Lindsay forward to check the peephole. As soon as Lindsay peered through the hole and caught a glimpse of Mr. Rogers' red, angry face, he banged on the door so hard, Lindsay flinched back. "I know you girls can hear me. I've been hearing you for hours now. It's getting late. Keep it down already." Lindsay yelled out from the other side of the door. Okay, Mr. Rogers. It's hard to keep it down when we're studying. I don't like coming up here so often. Try to understand. There are elderly people, young children living around you. Don't be a nuisance for all the tenants here." Lindsay put on the chain lock and opened the door slightly. But Mr. Rogers had already left. "It won't be an issue, Mr. Rogers. Please don't create a scene out here in the corridor and disturb the tenants." Lindsay quickly closed the door and turned towards Penelope and Justin. "It gets loud when we study? Good one, Lynn." "Hey, what did you expect me to say? You guys always push me forward. Why don't you confront him next time?" Lindsay and Penelope never really took Old Man Rogers seriously. They were rather annoyed at how often he would actually come over and start continuously knocking on their door. Wouldn't have mind if it was a single complaint once in a while, but Mr. Rogers seemed to be knocking on the ceiling and coming to their floor quite often, and sometimes for the slightest of noises. When these complaints went on and on, Lindsay and Penelope were fed up. They started to irritate Mr. Rogers just for the fun of it. They would go downstairs and knock on his door and make a run for it. Lindsay even wrote a fake notice from the tenant to vacate the apartment and slipped it under Mr. Rogers' door. Mr. Roger never seemed to complain about the silly pranks. He just couldn't tolerate the loud music, or the TV, or even if the girls were chatting with a few friends they had invited over. Doesn't he get tired of climbing the stairs to get here? Were we really making that much noise? Why is that old man always trying to mess with us? Penny, I'm getting tired of having to stop in between practice. Have you ever seen anyone play like a whistle? I keep having to break the flow. It's gonna be an issue if he really complains to the supervisor. Lindsay snapped her fingers. Why don't we go before him? Do you even know his name? Who is he? What are we going to tell the supervisor? We'll find out. So Lindsay and Penelope went to the supervisor the next evening after they got home from college. They planned to get to know who this annoying, intolerant neighbor of theirs was. Hello, ladies. How may I help you? Mr. Manson, we've been having some trouble with the tenant that lives under us in 3B. He keeps coming to our apartment to complain. We've tried to lower it down, but his visits are getting a little disturbing. The supervisor looked confused. Apartment 3B? Are you sure? Yes, he's an elderly man about yay tall, silver hair. I'm sorry, ladies. I don't know what you're talking about. There used to be an old man named Kenneth Rogers who previously lived in apartment 3B, but that was a long, long time ago. Years ago. He passed away in that apartment. Fortunately, his body was found many days later, when the neighbors couldn't bear the stench anymore. He lived all alone. Had nobody. Poor old man. Apartment 3B has been laying vacant since then. Perhaps you ladies were mistaken. Maybe it was some other tenant close by. Penelope and Lindsay looked at each other. They were bewildered. They didn't know what to say. Lynn, if apartment 3B is vacant, then who has been coming to our apartment and knocking on the walls all this time? His ghost? Shh, Penny, you're being too loud. Don't make noise. I'm trying, Lynn.
If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.